don't want to play for clicks. I want to be involved with a great leading program that's going to develop players. Him leaving Colorado, a shot across the bow at Dion. I don't think Dion cares.
We saw Logan Diggs move on from LSU to Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin. Don't be shocked if you see John Emery potentially maybe at another school, maybe like a Miss State or even maybe like a Texas A&M.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
Quotes coming out about Embiid. Oh, he's a warrior. You'll never get him off the court. You're just telling me he's an injury. He's one slip and fall away from not seeing him anymore in this series.
I would have sat him because there was only 1 day between the two games. It's 2 days between games 2 and games 3, and it's 2 days between games 3 and game 4.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Ferrall coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not 1, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage
This
late
sort of
night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Ferrall has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall.
Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money.
It's Ferrall. Coast to coast.
It's Ferrall on the bench, coast to coast, in the biggest way possible. Hanging out the bad seed, broken into bad apple with a bad attitude. Hanging around the bad, out of bad tape, bad law, bad dude, bad breath, bad vibes. We are live in New York City, the Big Apple. Ooh, people dressed in plastic bags, ready to try to some kind of fashion shake it up, stupid. Alrighty, along with your boy, the one and only, the esteemed Carver High. Also, Frank the Tank. Running it this week with Luke, I am your father. This is Coast to Coast on a Misery Monday. Carver High, we will crown a new Stanley Cup champion this year.
We will crown a new Stanley Cup champion this year. Happy Monday to you, Scotty. You had a wild weekend. You had a lot going on this weekend, that's for sure. You had plenty going on.
They ran the clip.
More than just...
They ran the clip yesterday. I said, don't run it. We'll get fired. And they said it was cleared. And they said it got cleared. And they ran the clip of me belly dancing. Some guy called me Uncle Full Belly. But I was belly dancing with belly dancers in a Mediterranean party on Saturday night. Out of control, off the hook, crazy place, had a blast, did very bad things. All of it caught on camera. Quite the reaction from the SportsGrid kingdom.
Wow, there certainly was. What a job by you there on Saturday. And I did not know they ran that clip, or else I would have at least tried to maybe run it back here today. All right, well, you mentioned it. Vegas will not.
I got enough problems here.
I had a good weekend, too, with the golf, which we'll talk about later. We got a lot of stuff that we're going to talk about later on. But as we hit the first full week of May, Scotty, you are right. Second round in both the NBA and the NHL playoffs. We got through a bunch of Game 7s this weekend that we are going to talk about. So that leaves 8 in both. I'll start with the hockey for you. Vegas is not going to repeat as champs. It will instead be one of these 8 teams that will hoist the cup. There it is, Scotty. Your bracket now with the second round in full effect. Vancouver, Edmonton, Dallas, Colorado, Florida, Boston, Rangers, Carolina. We have 8 remaining in the race for Lord Stanley's.
And I'm relatively open to the idea of per usual, the teams that have been playing, in other words, Boston and Dallas, both play tonight and tomorrow. So Boston won Saturday night on the Pasta overtime. I mean, just unbelievable goal. And then they play tonight in Sunrise against a team that's been sitting for a week in the weeds, talking about how wonderful they all are. I think there's nothing worse for a hockey team than shutting it down for a week. And I'm going to favor Boston and Dallas in these first games of these series. And Dallas is tomorrow night on their home ice against Colorado. I like teams that have been playing over teams that have been sitting.
Here is what you have for those 8 teams in terms of odds left to win the Cup. There you go. The Panthers, Scotty, they are the co-favorites along with the Edmonton Oilers, both plus 450. Carolina, despite being the team that's already down a game, is plus 550, and so are the Rangers and the Stars. Avalanche 6-1, Bruins 9-1, Vancouver 16-1, the long shot among these 8 remaining teams.
Well, I'm glad we could show that to everyone. I don't subscribe to any of those theories at all. I'm glad that we have these wonderful Stanley Cup odds to show everyone on the pretty graphic and talk about how great the Florida Panthers are and everything else. I do not believe for 1 minute that the top 2 teams right there are winning the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't believe that either. It's still kind of, even seeing that, like I told you on Friday, I was surprised how big of dogs the Rangers were in their series against Carolina. I mean, they're up a game after yesterday, which we'll discuss, and they still have the same odds as Carolina to win.
They haven't lost a game in a month.
They're 5-0 in the playoffs, and yet they're still booked behind all of those other teams. So once again, riddle me this when it comes to the odds for the Stanley Cup. On the NBA side, we have 8 teams left as well. There it is for you after a Game 7 yesterday.
I have no idea Cleveland how to read that. What is that?
Well,
is that a video
Boston,
game?
Cleveland. No, that's your bracket. Boston, Cleveland, Knicks, Indiana, Minnesota, Denver, and Oklahoma City and Dallas, the 8 left for the NBA title.
Okay, so just so we're clear, can we just get one of them out of the way already? Boston will destroy Cleveland. That's over with. That series should be canceled.
That series should be canceled. Don't even play the series. Just send Cleveland home already after winning that 7th game. Boston is the unquestioned favorite among the 8. Plus 110 for them. Nuggets plus 450. T-Wolves plus 575. Thunder, Mavs, Knicks, Pacers, and the Cavs.
Here we go again with these people. As you know, Carver High, I do not believe in these people. What do you mean, you people? All I know is Denver's back is to the wall tonight at the Ball Arena. They're already in trouble. Minnesota is dangerous and very capable of winning that series. Oak City hasn't even played yet, and they're 9-1. The Knicks are the most physical team in the NBA, and they're 10-1. They're giving Dallas, Indy, Cleveland, frankly, and the Knicks no chance at all of winning a championship. And I'm here to tell you, stranger things have happened. It will be way different than this when it's all said and done. They've already crowned the Celtics champions, and you know, they have the Bruins at second to last in odds with no chance at all. And what they're saying here is literally that, take a look, Boston they've already won the NBA championship. This is the sports books sucking you into their Logan Web of deceit and lying to you through their teeth and smiling and telling you how wonderful you are and comping you a steak in a room in the casino as they take all your money and your lover. I don't trust these people for 1 minute. I don't trust that graphic. You can have a sandwich with mayonnaise on it. I don't care what you show me today with all your crappy future odds. Thanks so much. Play the games. Let's dance.
Well, that's why I wanted to get them out of the way with you early on in the show today. So that way when we start talking about the games themselves, you've already gotten it out of the way. The big picture stuff, the bad odds. I know you.
I hate
odds. I know. Let's start then with the Cavs beating the Magic yesterday, 106-94. They win the series in 7. What a melt for Orlando, honestly, Scotty, who was dominating the game in the first half, but they let go of the rope big time in the second half, and that's because Donovan Mitchell went off. He was doing it all, ABC, ESPN.
He's got such a herky-jerky nature to his game. Mitchell, once again, some Mitchell mayhem here in the third quarter. We've got 5 bench players on the floor. Mitchell long distance, hits a 3. Donovan Mitchell with 35.
So what did he say about it?
Let's hear from him really fast before the break. He loves playing in games like this.
Did it live up to your expectations?
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. I mean, if I find myself just standing in the middle of the arena kind of enjoying the moment, because at the end of the day, like, there's pressure, there's all that, but it's basketball, and I'm playing in front of, some of the best fans in the world. Like, to see the towels, to see Ahmad, to hear Ahmad yelling. I don't know what the hell he be yelling, but I just hear him, like, screaming. That's a lot of fun. At the end of the day, and I always tell y'all, like, I'm never going to lose the kid in me, regardless of what happened. We could have been down 3-0. Like, I'm never going to lose that. At the end of the day, this is why I work so hard, because I enjoy what I do. But it's fans, man.
Oh, he's the
There
best.
you go.
He really is.
Very exciting.
He's the best.
But when
Very
I come back
exciting.
later, after I think we're talking to Morency soon.
Morency.
I'll tell you what I did betting on that game. I went crazy hitting bets.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
I kind of go back and forth with where all of this should land on the PGA Tour. I think individual 72 holes is what I really like for professional golf, for big time events.
Like, we're gonna make this all about teams. We're gonna have home games, and that's gonna be the focus of this competition. I don't think that works if you have guys that are still trying to play at the highest level on an individual front.
Only on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
In-game live, all access. Only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
It's the BetMGM offer of the week. Get up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. For all the games, all season long. Come out swinging with picks and parlays and turn any game into a must-watch. Download the BetMGM app, and it's on.
So I just wanted to go through these picks for that game yesterday. I'm really sorry. I want to apologize first and foremost for hitting every bet. I hate to do that for the SportsGrid audience when I get everything right. It's hard for me to live with myself. I had the Cavs -3, boom, over, boom. Spida over points, boom. Strus over 1.5 threes, boom. Garland points and assists over. It was 15. He had 16, boom. Paolo over points and rebounds, boom. And then just for good measure, Franz Wagner under PRA, and he had the worst game of his career. Can you say, boom? Cover 7-0 on one game with bets, all documented on Betting Above the Rim. Flat out. That's all she wrote. 7-0 on one game. Sorry I made you so much money yesterday on the grid. I'm sorry. I apologize. I should have done some more clips. I should have sent that out to more people. I screwed it up by being on it at 1 o'clock and getting everybody all that money. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so you were doing a lot of work on Betting Above the Rim then yesterday to hit that many. You went to work, you and Coach, I guess, or did you not have Coach yesterday? I saw you and Ranieri yesterday.
I had the
right?
mayor yesterday.
So the mayor with you.
So, we do a lot of games and props and 3-man hair weave, and we do all kinds of. We bet on everything. We bet on everything, and we talk nothing but basketball. Although yesterday I did talk about how many of the women at the Formula One in Miami that I wanted to sleep with.
Oh, well, I can't blame you for that because there was plenty of them going around, that's for sure. That was the Cavs' first playoff series win without LeBron since 1993, Scotty. So it's been a long time they won without LeBron. First playoff series win without LeBron since 93, so a nice job there. They, of course, are going to take on the Celtics next. I will give you the numbers for that a little bit later on after you get done with the game.
All right, Morency's on with us every day on Coast to Coast because he ought to be. And it's a law now in North America, not just in Canada, but in the U.S. And after the U.S. lost to the Canadian under-18 team, it was ratified and passed into law that Morency is on every day on Coast to Coast by law. You can catch him at night on Sports Rage at 10 Eastern on SportsGrid, all of our TV platforms and OTTs, and on all our radio affiliates, including Mightier 1090 ESPN in San Diego, from Mexico to the Canadian Rockies, all over the West Coast at night. Sports Byline USA and their great affiliates, and, of course, SiriusXM Channel 159. That's tonight at 10, Sports Rage. Don't miss it with Gabe and all of his lunatic friends. They're on the fringe. So Cleveland won. I hit it 7 different ways. That doesn't matter. What matters is how badly they're going to get their ass beat by Boston.
Yeah, it seems like New York and Boston have been on a collision course for a little while now, and it'll be an epic series. I think you can make an argument that the Pacers have a puncher's chance against the Knicks, more so than the Cavs do. You just can't make a case for the Cavs against the Boston Celtics. The Celtics are always good, Scott, to blow one game or to lose one game as a double-digit favorite. We see it during the regular season. But, I mean, really, this it's probably a sweep. Maybe it's 5 games. Pacers-Knicks should be fun. We all remember the old days and the rivalry and Reggie Miller and Spike Lee and everything. So there's a fun history in the past. And from a contrast style, Scott, it's pretty cool. I mean, you have one team that wants to run and gun and another team that wants to slow it down. But, man, the Knicks are like the best rebounding team. And the Pacers are one of the worst rebounding teams. Like, I just don't see the Pacers are going to be in a lot of trouble. They better hit their shots. I think the Pacers could cover some point spreads, but I see the Knicks winning in 6 most likely, Scott. Give the Pacers a game or 2. But I don't like the matchup for them. And I'd like to walk up to the window and say, you know what, give me the Pacers plus the points. But I'm a little bit concerned. I do like the over of the game tonight because I think the Knicks are going to be able to score on the Pacers. Like, point blank. The Pacers are not a very good defensive team. Like, they'll fake it once in a while, and they're going to try. But the Knicks are going to get a lot of layups. They're going to get a lot of easy shots. The Pacers, at times will get into, we'll just trade baskets with you. But don't underestimate the Pacers. They do have ballers. Yeah, you and I talked about Siakam. Halliburton's a star in the making.
But to me, the rebounding and the defense will be the difference, Scott. I think the Knicks and the Celtics are on a collision course, man.
Yeah, so the two-tiered, I've been talking about it on Betting Above the Rim and on C2C, the two-tiered defense, the Knicks perimeter D with 4 across the board. All 4 of their guards are savages defensively on the perimeter. And then in the low block to have a Mitchell Robinson and a Hartenstein, White Boy Rick, with the abilities to rebound, block shots, alter shots. And for Hartenstein with his teardrop floaters and his putback dunks and his finishing and his all-out hustle.
Did you know those, Scott?
They're going to have a problem. They're going to have a problem with this team. Well,
I know it blows I know it blows people's minds, but Hartenstein's black. He's not white.
Yeah, I know that.
It's crazy. Like nobody, like his own teammates didn't know that. And I saw him talk about it the other day, and he said that it's funny how he said they talked to him differently after.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Like his own teammates. They'd be like, how you doing today? And he said, once they found out I was a brother, he'd be like, yo, what's up, dog? Right? And he started laughing, and Josh Hart was in the room when he told the story. And he goes, yeah, it's true, man. He goes, I didn't know. He goes, how are we supposed to know? Right? And that's why he kidded. He goes, man, I'm a lot more athletic than people think.
He is. And look, I think Hartenstein has been unbelievable, and they have to keep him on the Knicks after this season. They have to give him money. He's been incredible for them, way more than Mitchell Robinson, who missed most of the season. We're back with another shot with Morency on C2C.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid. The Bostonian versus the Book.
You're not going to get the Tiger Woods size audience because do you know where they went? They went to Caitlin Clark. That's where those people went.
What?
Those people are now going to the WNBA. Yeah, the fan that only watches what's hot, the fan, the casual who doesn't really like sports but likes to be involved in the in thing. They're watching
cooler discussion.
They're watching Caitlin Clark.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
A lot of books, and outside of the New York area, the Canes are actually favored in Game 1 of this series. I'm seeing it right now. I'm looking. I see a -115 Canes, Rangers -105.
I like the 6 and 7 games prop, like I took with Boston, Toronto, which we now know is going to cash. I think it's got a chance to go the distance. It's going to be a long, tough, close series.
Sports Rage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
In-game live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
All right, Morency, the Knicks game is 5.5. They're favored. The Denver game 2 at the Ball Arena is Nuggets -6.5. Your thoughts on those spreads? The Knick total's 217 and a hook. The Denver total's 208 and a hook. Knicks up first on TNT at 7:30, followed by the nightcap. Who do you like? And what did you think of Pat Riley telling literally Jimmy Butler to, quote, shut up end quote. And then he called Tyler Hero sandwich, quote, fragile, end quote.
Well, Pat Riley, you're the one that, for whatever reason, gave Tyler Hero all this money for a dude. I mean, if you look at the moves that Pat Riley's made, it looks like now he's just taking it out on the players that he actually overvalued, right? I mean, I've never been a big Tyler Hero fan, and I should note he did hit a 3 to help me win it over in the playoff series, so I do thank him for that. But, dude, for the amount of money that he gets paid, and I don't know what Riley saw in him to justify that. And as far as Jimmy Butler is concerned, I agree in a sense. It's pointless, Jimmy, for you to be talking when you're not playing. But at the same point in time, if you're Pat Riley, you can't say that about your guy, right? I mean, the one thing about Jimmy Butler, we know this guy's played through pain. He's not perfect. He's not, you know what I mean? I mean, he's had some good playoff series and stuff. I've always thought, I don't want to take a shot at him. I always thought he was a little
sensitive.
People think, yeah, I thought he was a little overrated, Jimmy Butler, in the sense that he's going to give you 22 points. He works hard and stuff, and he's the first to the gym. And in the past year, Scott, I was like, yeah, we get it, bro. You work hard. You're not the only guy in the league that works hard, bro. Right? You're not the only guy in the league who shows up early. But I do respect him in his game.
I agree with you.
But he is the Miami.
He's good. He's not great.
Yeah, you know what I mean, Scott? People big him up. He's not a superstar. He works hard. And
he's really good. He's not great.
He's good. He's good. And he is always hurt. He is always hurt. So, to me, the big thing with Jimmy Butler, where his career, everything would have been better, it's the Philadelphia 76ers, Scott. They decided to pay Tobias Harris. I'm going back just quickly on this, but when Kawhi and when the Raptors beat the Sixers in 7 games, they were freaking good, bro. They had like J.J. Redick, Joel Embiid, Jimmy Butler. There were a couple others.
Right.
Like they weren't easy to deal with, man.
No.
Right? And it went 7. The Raptors won the title. They didn't go 7 against anybody, Scott, in the playoffs. All right? They beat Milwaukee in 6. They beat Golden State in 6. They won the first series in 5 against Orlando, I think it was. Philadelphia was the one that took them 7. And Jimmy Butler wanted to stay with Philadelphia, and they signed Tobias Harris instead. They didn't want to bring Jimmy back. Like, if maybe Philadelphia would have won if they kept it together, and it would have been different. But, you know, all that with the Heat, you know, they've kept it together, but it's the end of the line for that roster. But I tell you, Scott, I don't know you know what it is with Rudy Gobert. I don't know what the personal issue is. But I tell you what, if you're missing a basketball game for personal reasons and it's a playoff game, it must be pretty serious. I'm looking right now, and I see there's hope, quote, optimism right now amongst the T-Wolves that he will get back in time for the game tonight. I've said this before, and I'm sure you'll agree with me. When Karl Anthony Towns was out, okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When they didn't have Rudy Gobert, they lost games. Rudy Gobert is the second most important guy on this team after Anthony Edwards. He's the rock. He's the foundation. I don't like if he's not there, but with that being stated, even when Denver are at their best, Scott, they don't win by 7, bro. Everything's a struggle for them. Like, they play close games. I got to take the T-Wolves tonight, even without Gobert, and maybe if he plays, I hope for the best here, but give me the points tonight,
and
Scott.
Knicks. And what about the Knicks? And who do you like in the Bruins-Panther game?
Give me the over in the Knicks game. I really want to take the Pacers plus the points, but I'm just going to go with the over. I'll go over the 217.5. And I think the Florida Panthers make short work of the Boston Bruins. Panthers in 5 or 6.
So they've been off a week, and they're just going to come on the ice and steamroll the Bruins who've been playing.
Yeah, I think the Bruins are a little gassed after playing.
I think the Panthers. I think they're better. I just don't think they're sharp as a team that's been playing. I'm always on teams that are playing, not teams that are sitting.
I think the momentum. You know what's going to be different for Boston? It's always a challenge, Scott. Completely different style of play now than the Leafs. You played 7 games, locked in, do this, do that, do this, do that, do that. Now it's like, boom, crash. Oh, my God, we're playing a different team. Could be an adjustment period for them.
And this team's way better than the Leafs. They really are. All right, Morency.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid. The Bostonian versus the Book.
You're not going to get the Tiger Woods size audience. Because do you know where they went? They went to Caitlin Clark. That's where those people went.
What?
Those people are now going to the WNBA. Yeah. The fan that only watches what's hot, the fan, the casual who doesn't really like sports but likes to be involved in the in thing, they're watching
cooler discussion.
They're watching Caitlin Clark.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
A lot of books, and outside of the New York area, the Canes are actually favored in Game 1 of this series. I'm seeing it right now. I'm looking. I see a -115 Canes, Rangers -105.
I like the 6 and 7 games prop, like I took with Boston, Toronto, which we now know is going to cash. I think it's got a chance to go the distance. It's going to be a long, tough, close series.
Sports Rage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
In-game live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
Yeah, Carver High. I'm very jealous of the clothes that Morency had going there. He had a Canucks blue on, and then he pulled out the light blue Canucks one with the Kevin Durant hoodie on the top of it with the cover. And I told him to get me one of those. I gotta buy one of those. That's a pretty cool shirt, you gotta admit. And I'm very jealous. And it's not right. It's not legal. He should have to get you and I Canucks light blue hoodies, in the spring here, headed into the summer. We need that material on our bodies.
It would be very nice if that happened. You're right. You got to have some fresh playoff gear, even though our teams aren't in it anymore. I mean, me and you are out.
Well, we could support the Canadian Canucks. It has no effect on our status here in America.
I got to tell you, out of all the teams that are left, if I had to go through them, who would I probably have the, not the hardest time rooting for? It's probably Vancouver.
I am rooting for them against Edmonton.
It's probably
Are you
right
kidding?
there. Vancouver and Dallas, I think, are the two. That Dallas is probably more.
And Elvis has Dallas and Carolina. And I can't have it. Listen,
Carolina can't lose fast enough, as far as I'm concerned.
I'm willing to let the Rangers win. I don't have a problem with them like I do your franchise that has destroyed my life, my entire life. The Islanders have destroyed my life. The Rangers have never really done anything to me, ever. Regular season games mean nothing to me. The Penguins' playoff history against the Islanders is a bloodletting. So all I know is I don't care if the Rangers win. And when I watch them, I got to admit, I think they're exciting and they're good. And, I live in New York City and I'm ODing on the Rangers because they're shoving them down our throats. And the Knicks, as you know, I ride the Knicks horse all night long.
You have to ride that all night long, of course. And we're going to get to them as they are, of course, playing tonight, game number 1 at the Garden against the Indiana Pacers. Let me finish off a couple of things for you first, before we get to that. Number 1, you already said Boston's going to squash Cleveland The series odds for that are pretty ridiculous. I mean, minus 1,400 for the Celtics, plus 800 if you think the Cavs can somehow win the series. I'll put it to you better this way, Scotty, and they'll play Game 1 tomorrow night. Will the Cavs win a game? Now, Miami won a game. They were able to get one game. Will the Cavs get a game in this?
Well, Miami won a game because they hit 23 threes in a game, and I hit that game at 14.5, as you know. I will say this. I think that Cleveland team, now listen up, Cleveland. I bet on you yesterday 7 ways and cashed all 7 tickets. I do not believe they're a good team. I do not. I do not believe they're they have one guy. They have one guy that can play. That's it. I do not believe in anyone on that team. That toothpick Mobley, he's a bricklayer. I like Allen way better. He's got rib damage. If they don't get him back, they're screwed. If they get him back, they might have a shot in one game. With Mitchell and Allen, they, I think, would have at least a shot in one game. Without him, I say no. They're too sloppy. Orlando pushed them around. Orlando kicked their ass in Orlando. Even the 6th game, they beat them like 103-96. None of the games were close. The third quarters were blowout. Cleveland was down 20 yesterday, 18 points. They're not even good. They won because of Spida. That's all there is to it. They're not a good team. They have no chance at all against this team. They're too loaded, too deep, too talented, too good, too well coached, too well run. Cleveland is not in their realm. They're not even in their neighborhood. This isn't even fair. This is easy street for the Boston Celtics, and everybody knows it. Bettors, broadcasters, fans, media, everyone knows that Boston should annihilate them. They're not in the same league.
I think the one thing for the Celtics, obviously, in this series is they have to try to avoid injuries. They picked up a major injury in the first round against Miami. They're not going to, hopefully they'll have Zinger back when they get to the last 4 after they get through this series. They got to avoid major injuries. And,
Mike, let me ask you. I said this yesterday on Betting Above the Rim. I'm going to ask you flush. I said yesterday, and I'm a fan of his. I like his game. But he is so soft. He is so injury prone. He is so debilitated with injuries every year, every season, every month. It's always something. I truly believe, I said this yesterday, I'm going to ask you flush right now. I say his career is over in less than 4 years. Over, finished, done. He has nothing. In 4 years, he'll be out of the league. He's a cripple already, and he can't ever play when it matters. He is a great player that's body does not run in concert with his skills.
It would not surprise me if that was eventually the timeline. It's like the same thing that Riley said about Hero, right? He's fragile. Porzingis is fragile.
Simple as that.
He does not last very long out there.
Ever.
And he's had a lot of injuries, and you might not be wrong about that kind of a timeline. So there you go. Cavs and the Celtics, they'll start Game 1 tomorrow night in Boston. All right, we have a Game 2 tonight. We have 2 games, of course. We're going to get to Knicks and Pacers Game 1. We have a Game 2 in Denver between the Timberwolves and the Nuggets. The Timberwolves, Scotty, went into the ball on Saturday night and started the second round with a big upset win in Denver, 106-99. Anthony Edwards, 43 points in this game. How about Naz Reid in the fourth quarter? He had 14 of his 16. I thought Naz Reid was ridiculous, Scott. He won him that game. I know Ant had the 43, and he was unbelievable. But the Naz Reid performance in the fourth
need him.
with Cat, he was so huge. Banking him in. The dunks off the rebounds. I mean, he was ridiculous in that game.
He's a huge piece, and they need him. They need everybody. Look, I don't know this whole story at all that Gabe is talking about with Gobert. Is he not playing tonight or something? Is he not going to the game? He's got personal issues. He's got some issues. Yeah. Listen, without him, I think they have a real problem on their hands. I do not believe that Cat Towns can stay out of foul trouble against Joker and this team tonight, and Gordon, and Porter, and Murray, all of them. They know they're against the ropes. They know they cannot lose this game. Under no circumstances can they lose this game. The Nuggets have to play at another level tonight than they did in Game 1. Game 1, they went through it like the motions. And I think that tonight they have to win this game, and I think they have to win it by 10 or more. That's 6.5. They got to win this game by 10 or more. They need to smack Minnesota tonight. If Gobert's not playing, I will take Denver, and if Gobert is playing, I'll take the 6.5 points. But I still think Denver wins the game.
The situation with Gobert is, I guess he went home for the birth of his child, is the personal reasons that went on. The baby was born at 8 o'clock this morning. There is optimism that they can get him back to Denver in time for tonight's game, but that's not 100% certain yet. That is the personal reason.
Okay, well, there you go. So here's the deal. As you know, I believe in no family issue should ever interfere with my gambling or watching the game. I told you the Penguins are more important than my family. The Penguins' 5 cups are way more important than the birth of my children. I've only known my children for a number of years. I've known the Penguins for 59 years. Since their inception, basically. I was 2 years old, and I've been a Penguin fan ever since. I like the Penguins. The only thing the Penguins don't do to me is have sex with me, which is it's just unfortunate. But I think that all other reasons, you should never miss a game for the birth of children or your wife or your anniversary or any other reason. Family doesn't matter when there's millions of dollars on the table and at stake. There's a lot going on here tonight in Denver for the T-Wolves. I don't care about the baby. What is the baby going to start talking to him today or even know that he's there? The baby barely opens his eyes. Can we get the guy to the game in time to cover the spread, for Christ's sakes? All these babies being born.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid. The Bostonian versus the Book.
You're not going to get the Tiger Woods size audience. Because do you know where they went? They went to Caitlin Clark. That's where those people went. What? Those people are now going to the WNBA. Yeah. The fan that only watches what's hot, the casual who doesn't really like sports but likes to be involved in the in thing, they're watching
cooler discussion.
They're watching Caitlin Clark.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
A lot of books, and outside of the New York area, the Canes are actually favored in Game 1 of this series. I'm seeing it right now. I'm looking. I see a -115 Canes, Rangers -105.
I like the 6 and 7 games prop, like I took with Boston, Toronto, which we now know is going to cash. I think it's got a chance to go the distance. It's going to be a long, tough, close series.
Sports Rage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing. I would have really figured it would have been the other way around, but the NBA is just crazy.
In-game live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
Another example, Carver High, here of a situation you have to choose. You got like your wife, Hot Nicole. You've been married for a number of years, had 2 lovely children. I've been with 34C for 23 years, married, 2 kids. Everybody's happy. But clearly, the BetMGM First 1500 is a way better situation for me than all these family people in my life and bothering me and getting in my way and interfering with making money. I mean, you got your wife, your kids, there's like a pecking order, even Granny, Kathy O, you got to put a pecking order here. And I'm putting the BetMGM Sportsbook mobile app, 1,500. Are you kidding? So listen to this. You open an account, you put 10 in, you got your account jamming, you make your first bet, let's say on the Knicks tonight for $1,500. If they somehow lose, which they won't, but if they do lose and you lose the bet, immediately BetMGM puts $1,500 in bonus bets into your account, and you're like rock star status. You download the app on iOS or Android or go to BetMGM.com, and you get a first bet up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you lose the bet. These things like this is what I'm talking about are much more important than like a wife or children in your life. Honestly, like I have already chosen my path. Gambling. Always. Hockey.
Yeah.
Beer.
I've kind of chosen this. I've chosen the same path.
Psychedelic chocolate.
It is. I don't know if I've chosen that path, but I've chosen all those other paths that you were talking about. I don't know if I'm in on that. I'd have to see what that's all about. But no, everything, all those other paths that you talked about.
It's like Aaron Rodgers.
Absolutely. I've chosen those already. Yeah, I'm not going to go sit in some dark room for 3 days eating psychedelic chocolate.
A dark retreat.
Really
I think your boy Gobert went on one of those too. A dark retreat. He did it. I don't go places and sit in the dark. I get creeped out. I watch too many horror movies.
Tonight. Anthony Edwards, as we mentioned, he had 43 the other night in game number 1. Here's your boy Ant having an unbelievable playoff on facing the Nuggets and Joker.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Going against the best player in the world is always fun. Going against the best team in the world is always fun. And like I said, man, they're well coached. They're disciplined. They're not going to beat themselves. And I feel like our coaching staff did a great job of game planning throughout the 3-4 days that we had, and our guys came out and competed tonight. So it's not about just me personally. It's about my team. You know, they give me confidence also. I mean, seeing them third quarter, I didn't do anything. I was just out there running up and down. And Mike and Kat came out big for us, so that gave me confidence, you know, to try to find myself.
This guy is such a freak. I mean, he is something else. Tune in tonight, get yourself a big old highball glass of whiskey, and watch this guy play basketball. It's better than sex. I mean, my man is lit. He has got game and hops like no other guy in the NBA. I think he's truly the most exciting player to watch play basketball in the world right now.
Certainly is to me. He has been unbelievable. Michael Malone and the Nuggets down 1-0 after another slow start. Remember, Sky, they had slow starts that entire series against the Lakers, but they were playing the Lakers. They were able to get out of it. Slow start again in game number 1. What do they got to do better here tonight, game number 2?
48 minutes. You can't play a half of basketball in the Western Conference semifinals. And they're a very talented team. You know, I said it all week long, and I'll continue to say it. There's a reason that they were in first place the large majority of the season. And give them credit. You know, they came in here, took game 1. So there's a lot we can clean up and get better at, and we're going to have to. You know, so we can try to tie this series up going back to Minnesota after game 2. But as I told our players, 18-4 start, so we get down early, fight like hell to take the lead at halftime, and then play no defense in the third. And you can't just trade baskets with that team. There's a lot that we'll look at the film and try to clean up so we can be better.
They have to play on another speed than they did in game 1 tonight against this team, or they're going to lose again. They have to play at a hyper speed, and they have to knock down big shots, and that includes Pope, Porter, Gordon. They all have to get involved, and Joker has to have a triple-double. And Murray has to be better than pedestrian. He was pedestrian in game 1. 17 points from that guy is a bad night. That's all there is to it. He has to have 30 points tonight, and Joker needs a trip dub. Porter needs to hit 4 or 5 threes, and Gordon has to attack the rim, and Caldwell Pope has to hit 3 threes. They all have to play on another level tonight, or they go down 0-2 at home. If they don't play more intense from the jump, like all out, they're in big trouble, mister.
Big trouble indeed. Here's all the numbers that I have for you in terms of this series. Number one, the Timberwolves are now slight favorites, Scotty, to win the series. They're minus 120. Denver even money going into a Game 2 tonight. Speaking of that Game 2, we already gave you the deal about Gobert. They'll see if they can get him back to Denver in time for 10 o'clock East, 8 o'clock Mountain. The Nuggets are 6.5-point favorites tonight in this game. 207.5 is the total.
I mean, it's just a kiss of death, this number. That they got to win by 7 is brutal. But, like, I honestly believe they even it up tonight and win and cover. It's a dangerous bet. It's very scary. With or without Gobert, it's a just absolutely crazy bet. It's awful. Laying 6.5 against a great team is just poison. It's absolute poison. But they have to win. So I'm a big believer in desperate teams. And this team is not going away, Denver, because like some sportsbook put up odds as them at even money and that Minnesota's minus 120. That has nothing to do with tonight. And those odds will change tomorrow, and they'll give you more of their bullshack odds tomorrow when Denver wins tonight. So that's what they'll do. Tomorrow they'll give you a whole new fresh slab of crappy odds that you can chew on. They're doing anything they can to sucker you. That's what they do. Just so you know, and somebody's got to say it around here.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid. The Bostonian versus the Book.
You're not going to get the Tiger Woods size audience because you know where they went? They went to Caitlin Clark. That's where those people went.
What?
Those people are now going to the WNBA. Yeah, the fan that only watches what's hot, the fan, the casual who doesn't really like sports but likes to be involved in the in thing. They're watching
cooler discussion.
They're watching Caitlin Clark.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
A lot of books, and outside of the New York area, the Canes are actually favored in Game 1 of this series. I'm seeing it right now. I'm looking. I see a minus 115 Canes, Rangers minus 105.
I like the 6 and 7 games prop, like I took with Boston, Toronto, which we now know is going to cash. I think it's got a chance to go the distance. It's going to be a long, tough, close series.
Sports Rage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
In-game live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
All right, Carver High, you got some player props. I've been on fire hitting player props.
You have been on fire with the player props. These are, of course, as we always give you, the most bet player props for tonight at BetMGM. Anthony Edwards over 28.5 points. Cat over 18.5 points. Jaden McDaniels over 12.5 points and rebounds. McDaniels over 8.5 points. And the Joker over 29.5 points. I'm on that Joker triple-double tonight, Scotty. I'm going to get you right now what the exact number is to this second, but I'm going to be on that.
I'm on that. A Joker over points, Edwards over points. I actually feel the 2, 3, and 4 are all fails. I think Cat will be under. I think McDaniels will definitely, in my opinion, be under. He had a great game one with a 0 donut. I mean, he had nothing, 0. So, and now all of a sudden you want me to start betting on him to have big games? Listen, the guy had a 25 spot in the last round, and now everybody thinks he's Kevin Durant. Let's calm down here. Okay? Thanks so much. I'm here to make money. I'm here to win. That's it. And to look good. And to have a giant belly, which I have. But I look good, and I got a giant belly. I played basketball today with a guy, Carver High. You know what he said to me? Because he was a little dude, and he was in my way in the low block, and I told him to get out of the low block. This is my house. I said, you go out there and play guard, and I'll handle all this down here like a man. And then I bumped into him with my chest, and he said, damn, that belly's strong. I said, it is very strong, that belly. I have very strong muscles in my belly that is so big and fat and rotund like your boy Santa Claus ain't got nothing on me.
Joker triple doubles plus 180 tonight.
Boom.
I'll be in the mix
Boom.
for that. No doubt about it. We're gonna start. We'll start the top of the hour with the Knicks and the Pacers, Scotty. Of course, they're gonna play Game 1 at the Garden. Let me give you this now, since I got 2 minutes here, and I'm never gonna get to it at the top of the hour like I had originally planned. There's one afternoon baseball game today. It's the Phillies looking for a 4-game sweep wraparound series with the Giants at Citizens Bank with Zach Wheeler on the mound against Mason Black. They're going to throw first pitch is less than 10 minutes away. Phillies are minus 250. Giants are plus 200 with a 7.5 total. Did you know, Scotty, after the win last night, the Phillies have the best record in baseball? How about that at 24-11?
And they beat Logan Webb last night, and I was on them. And I also listen, I got a way better number. So I got it this morning. I did bet this game at Phillies minus a 1.5 at plus 110. I will not suggest where I got that number other than it wasn't one of ours. So I went with the top number. The best number this morning I saw, with ours, was around plus $1.05. I got it at plus 110 with the Phillies laying the 1.5. The Phillies have looked fantastic and even better at the bank where they've been lighting it up. And last night, all we heard about was Logan Webb and his great, filthy pitching. No one can hit him. No one can score on him. And I believe that's true when he pitches in Oracle. I do not believe he's so utterly dominant everywhere else and unhittable. And the Phillies beat him.
Yep, Phillies beat him last night. Phillies have been absolutely rolling. They will look to continue that here this afternoon against the Giants. So we will come back, Scotty, at the top of the hour, and we will begin Game 1 tonight at the Garden. We have been waiting for the Knicks and the Pacers to get together and finally kick this thing off. I've got Tibbs for you. I've got Halliburton for you. I have series odds. I have Game 1 odds. I've got the player props. We're excited for the Garden tonight, Scotty. I'm going to make you sweat here. A lot of work for you here with the Knicks and the Pacers.
Oh, the stress. Now, listen, one other thing. There's a lot of stress involved here. I did bet the over in the Denver game as well. I just wanted to be clear that I did bet the over. And I actually bet it at over 205. I don't know where it's sitting right now. You tell me. I'm seeing a 208.5. I got it at 205 this morning, and I bet it at 7 a.m. East.
Well, look, you obviously, and I'm seeing 208.5, so up 3.5 points. I think a lot of that, Scotty, is one of their best defenders potentially not going to be out there for Minnesota. It's going to change some things around the rim, not having Gobert out there in the middle.